Imaginary Friendcast. This is episode number 255. This is a conversation with your socially distanced, very responsible best friends. We are your best friends.
I am Nathan Von Edmondson.
I am Aaron Marie Betty Davis Jr.
And I am DavidMonster.com.
And tonight, we're going to be blowing the lid off of presidential election trivia. And we're also going to be calling the winner of the 2020 election by the end of the podcast.
So we're calling them? We're going to call them?
We're going to call the winner. We're going to decide who the winner is.
We're going to call them. Hey, okay, we'll call them. I have my phone. Okay, good. Go. Keep going.
Announce that they're the winner.
Okay, good. So they won't know until we call them. Okay, good. Got it.
We and the listeners don't have time to watch the news, so we'll just do it here. Oh, hey, the cat's up here. We're just going to end the suspense. There's been a lot of suspense leading up to this day, which is November 3rd, Election Day. So for you all out there, our listeners, the American people, our best friends, you'll hear it tonight, the winner of the presidential election. But first, who wants to go first?
Oh, man, I don't know. What do we do? I don't know. Oh, gosh, I don't know.
First, I'll go first.
Okay.
All right.
So we're entering the season of Hallmark Christmas movies.
I know who likes those.
In the season.
Are we in the season? So I'm going to do a little plug as the first part of my news, and then I'm going to talk about something that may be better than Hallmark Christmas movies. So before I get to the what may be better than Hallmark Christmas movies, friends of mine are doing a online, I don't know if it's a streaming show or if it's just a podcast, I'm not sure yet, but you can find their page on Facebook. It's called Remark, and they're going to be responding and making remarks about all of the Christmas movies that Hallmark is playing this year. Now I'm going to be a guest in December, I believe. I hope I'm not ruining an announcement for them. But just so you know, we only do 2 podcasts every month now, so I got to plug it. I think it's going to be the beginning of December. I'm not sure when that episode will drop. But go to Facebook and find Remark and check it out. But what may be better than Hallmark Christmas movies? We were flipping around on the television the other night and discovered LMC, which is the Lifetime Movie Channel.
Yeah, not without my daughter, you don't. All right, keep
Oh my God. The entire lineup of previews of movies on that channel were like B or C movie, like a step up from Hallmark in terms of quality, in terms of like acting and production value. But they're like thrillers and murder mysteries and like sex films. Like we watched most of a movie called Psycho Yoga Instructor.
That sounds amazing. Who's starring in it?
Nobody
really.
A bunch of Hallmark like actors.
Yeah, but it was exactly what you think it was. If you love psycho love triangles where someone ends up being a total psycho, and you don't want to watch an A movie, you can go watch the Lifetime Movie Channel C version.
I also got sucked into the movie that played right after called The Secret Sex Life of a Single Mom.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
It was about how she got into some dominant, submissive relationship with some online guy after she left her husband.
Oh, my.
But what was very exciting.
Yeah, what was brilliant about that is she narrated the entire film. So you're watching the film, but the main character is just narrating her experience throughout. So it's high quality writing.
Yeah.
I think that's such a good idea. We should do a reaction video to something someday. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
That's my news.
I can go next. It's very relevant. We voted in the 2020 Erection.
All right, listen. I got this just so people wouldn't accuse me. I didn't steal this. I didn't steal it. I got it because I voted.
All right. We didn't get a sticker, which is kind of shitty.
So we have no idea if you guys voted or not.
We did. I can show you the email showing they received my ballot.
Okay, good. All right. Okay, good.
And I counted, I don't know, but we did an option where we got our ballots, filled them out, dropped them in one of the city drop-offs, and then...
Was it a real one or a fake one?
It was, yeah, because within 12 hours we got the email saying that they received it. So, and that was
Okay, good. That's amazing. What a world we live in.
I know. I think this was we were going to learn a lot about erections tonight, but I think this was one of the first times, if not the first time, that Pennsylvania opened up their mail-in ballot world so much. Pennsylvania, this is kind of a
That
first
is true. That is true.
So, and just for our listeners that aren't aware, David is in Los Angeles and Nathan and myself are in Philadelphia. We are a bi-coastal podcast. David, what's your name?
We're a bisexual podcast. Okay. All right. I was triggered in Pound Town.
What is
Okay. I went to the dollar store and I had a very, very bad Vietnam flashback.
that? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, here, and then we had that. Okay. Yeah, I had a very bad Vietnam flashback. I don't know if you guys know what these are. These are the futuristic modern version of what we had when I was a kid. Can you see that?
Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels tracks.
Yeah.
Can you see them? They're Hot Wheels tracks.
Yep.
Did you guys have those? Okay. My mom used to say, go get your Hot Wheels tracks. And then we go get them and be like, what here, Mom? And she'd be like, pull down your pants. And you'd be like, what? What did we do? What did we please? And she'd be like, ow, shit. God damn it, that hurts. Fuck. And then she'd be like, okay, wait, I'm going to wait. Ow, fuck. God, you know what, Mary Drader? I have Hot Wheels tracks now, too, and I'm going to find you. Pull down your pants. Oh, shit, that hurts. Shit, that hurts. Oh.
Well,
Okay, that's my news.
I'm not sure if we can continue the podcast after that.
I just want to know who here, which one of you guys, when your kids are old enough, are going to take Hot Wheels tracks and beat the shit out of them with it hurts like fucking hell. You saw. You guys, should I send them to you? Go ahead. Yeah, go. Sorry, go.
I'm sorry, David. That just sounds horrible, and I'm sorry that happened to you.
Thank you, and thank you, Joe DiNotro, for your concern. Oh my God! Look who we have.
So, any listeners?
Whoa!
Any listeners? Hold on. I want to make sure that we're being very mindful to our podcast listeners. So we are live streaming. So we will be commenting periodically about people that are commenting live. So just so you know that we're not just reacting like crazy people to nothing, but we've had some wonderful listeners saying hello and congratulating us on being responsible voters. So we'll be updating those verbally as we go along, right?
And we do, yeah, we want to welcome a first-time streamer, long-time listener, and Dr. Anna Banana DiNotto Myers. But I also want to say that sometimes we will react to nothing like crazy people, too.
Sometimes we will, and then I'll probably have to explain it afterwards.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
All right, moving on. Gold star, Luke Vincentini.
Yay.
David, who is Luke and why did he deserve
Dude. Okay, we posted it on our Unimaginatory Friendcast Facebook. You gotta go. He's amazing. He shows a picture. He shows like a video of a carton of eggs, and you're like, "Oh, it's a carton of eggs." And he takes a knife. And you're like, "What's he gonna do with this carton of eggs with a knife?" And then he cuts it. It's a cake. He makes a cake that looks like a carton of eggs. It doesn't just it fully doesn't it? Did you guys see it? It fully looks like a carton of eggs,
and he does
or like
everything.
Yeah. Like a stalks of celery that look like a stalk of celery. A mango that you cannot tell. He has a video of a mango next to his cake mango cake that he makes look like a mango, and you can't tell the difference.
You know what?
It's amazing.
If it is terrible cake, I hope it tastes good.
That's a good point.
If it doesn't taste good,
even so,
right,
it's so incredible. They're actually works of art.
They are.
The first one that you'll see if you go to that link, or at least the Facebook link that we posted, is he has a succulent garden that looks like it's a window box of succulents until he cuts into it. And it's like a beautiful pastel cake. It's incredible.
Dude, he is in New Jersey, We need you guys to drive to New Jersey and get it for the podcast.
Holy shit, I didn't realize he was local for us. We're going.
I'm down.
Yeah.
100%.
And I'll send it to you. The cakes are not cheap, but find out and I'll split it with you. And yeah.
Perfect. We have a visitor comment here. Visitor. As a mother with an abundance of those tracks in our home, I do not hit my child with them. I'm so sorry that happened.
I know Dr. That's Dr. Anna Banana Denotro, and she's the world's leading clinical psychologist or something like that. Can you imagine what it would take to pick these up and be like, you know what? I'm gonna hit my kid with this. Like, I want your honest reaction. What kind of a psychopath would it would take for that, Dr. Anna Banana Denotro Myers?
I think it just points out the downfall of consumerism when our switches are made out of plastic, mass-produced instead of cut from our backyards like they used to be.
Oh, my mom made us do that too. Don't worry. She made sure there was a special tree with these. They were like, oh God, they had these long these long twigs that were like car aerials that would never like dry out. You know how like twigs on trees, and she would just whip the shit out of us with it. Anyway, so Lorna Howley says she's going back to the cake. She says sometimes those fancy fondant cakes taste waxy.
Yeah, I could see that.
They can, absolutely, but it's worth it for these cakes.
At least for the artistry of it, which is why Luke got the gold star.
Hi, Lorna. I like to say hi, Lorna.
Hi, Lorna. Like, hi.
Just for the record, we don't know all of our listeners.
No,
not
but
all
we
of our
know
personal
Lorna.
Personally, we slept.
She is a personal favorite.
All right, so I kind of want to jump into this topic. How are you guys feeling?
I say good. I say like good.
Is this an erection with perfect vision?
I don't know how to answer that.
It took me a second, but it might be.
All right, so we're gonna talk about erections, and not the penis kind, but the kind that is today, presidential erections.
Presidential erection.
Made famous by Bill Clinton.
Yeah, aw, poor guy. So I just want to talk about a couple things related to elections before we jump into the trivia. Trivia is this is an interactive podcast where I'm going to be posing trivia questions, and you guys and our listeners as well will be able to answer them, and we'll see who has the greatest erection knowledge. How does that sound?
Okay. I just want to say before you begin, and I know that we're not supposed to talk about it yet because the results aren't in, but currently Texas is blue, and I know that could change, and Pennsylvania is blue.
All right. Well,
Okay.
Texas, I just want to say it only has 22% of the votes counted, and Pennsylvania has 1% counted. So,
And to answer your question, Aaron, you said, asked us, how does this sound? Take a quiz. It sound on the erections. It sounds hard.
This erection is very hard, Nathan, and I agree with you.
that was
And
good.
I want to point out though that Aaron and Nathan are in Pennsylvania, so if it doesn't go blue, it's 100% their fault. And what have you two done to make sure that it goes blue? Because the three of us are not necessarily. I'm not a Democrat, but I can't stand 4 more years of Trump, so it chapped my ass. But I voted blue.
Hey, and guess what you didn't do 4 years ago? That got us Donald Trump.
I voted yellow. I do. Wait, I'm glad you brought that up because I want to say something about that. That's not 100% my fault because you have to understand we had 8 years of Clinton betrayal. Like it wasn't just like going in blindly. Like there's 8 years, and I did a deep dive on Hillary then, and I did it even after the election. And yeah, I do feel like she would have handled things a lot better than Donald Trump, but it wasn't a done deal. No one thought he would get, some people thought he would get this crazy. Some people thought he would get this crazy. I didn't know him. I should have videoed him more because I had no clue. Anyways, that's all. Keep going.
I apologize. I shouldn't be finger pointing because we are where we are.
Yeah.
regardless of what happened 4 years ago. And this is a new erection. And all we have to do is look forward from here.
Yeah, look at this erection, the one right in front of you, not the erections of the past.
Yeah, look at this erection, Nathan. So what did you guys do to make sure that Pennsylvania goes blue?
We voted blue.
We voted, yeah, and there were a number of just kind of casual instances where people I was talking to were confused by how to vote, either with a absentee ballot or whether they should mail it at that point or drop it off, or can you even drop it off at the. Like one person was confused, like they were being told that, or hearing from friends that you can't drop it off at drop boxes because it still needs to be picked up by mail, which is false. There's just like there's so many little things that you have to do. It's very prohibitive to vote in Pennsylvania, it seems. So,
well, just this year, I don't think it used to be, right?
I just feel like in general, getting registered to vote and voting there's a lot of obstacles you have to jump over.
There is a certain party that's really taken it to heart to make it as difficult as possible to cast your vote.
Yeah, and they think he's gonna win. If you think your guy's gonna win, why you gotta make it difficult?
Well, they know that he won't if it's really easy to vote. So, but I don't want to alienate any listeners we have that do vote red. This is not a partisan podcast. Even though I have really strong opinions, I'm going to try to keep them to myself.
All right.
Totally.
Quiz.
Yeah, I want you to continue with the quiz, but I just want to point out that Lorna Howley has just said thongs. So yay, Lorna. Okay, go ahead, Aaron.
It was too
No, don't explain. Don't explain. No, don't explain.
Moving on. So
thank you, Lorna. Keep going. Yeah.
Why do we vote on a Tuesday in November? Do you guys know?
No.
I have no idea.
Started in 1792.
It's the first. It has to be the first Tuesday after the first Monday of the month.
It's guaranteed that no more than 34 days can pass between the first Wednesday in December, which is when the Electoral College meet to vote on the president and vice president. So this is dating back to the 1700s, why we have this date. And it was also considered a good date because most Americans were farmers back in the day. So this would ensure that people that were trying to find time to vote, these farmers weren't busy with their harvest. It was right after harvest.
Oh.
So it's interesting how much of laws in our country have to do with being farmers.
Wait, I did come up with some information. I delved into the Electoral College. Should we talk about it now before we get into it, or should we talk about it at the end?
I would say at the end.
Okay. All right. So remember everything we said. Okay, go ahead.
States that allow felons to vote from prison.
Wow.
And this has been the case since the 1800s. You guys know which ones?
New York?
No.
Wait, what was the question? Say it again. Sorry. What?
There are 2 states that allow felons to vote in prison. And this has been the case since the 1800s.
Oh, God, I read this and I forgot. It's not Las Vegas, right? No.
State.
It's all in New England.
Oh.
Connecticut?
Maine and Vermont.
Ugh.
Oh. Well, okay.
And who is that? This is kind of a trick question, but who was the youngest person ever to become president?
I know that. Do you know that, Nathan?
Barack Obama?
No, it was Kennedy.
No, it wasn't. This is why it's a trick question. There was actually Theodore Roosevelt. He was 42 when he became president. But John F. Kennedy was the youngest to be elected into office. He was 43. So Roosevelt took the presidency because because he was the vice president and McKinley was assassinated. So as a 42-year-old, he became president even though he wasn't elected. So it's kind of a trick. I know. Okay.
That is a trick question.
Who's the oldest president? Also kind of a tricky question.
Go ahead. Sorry. Reagan was oldest when he was in office, right?
Yes. So there's like 2 kind of answers to this question. The oldest president to be elected was Donald Trump, who got elected at age 70, but Reagan was the oldest to hold office. By the time he got out, he was 77.
So that record could be broken.
It could be. Joe Biden could be the oldest president we've ever had.
Woo! And Trump could be, if he's elected. He would break that record too.
He would, yeah.
because
Yeah.
he would be the oldest elected.
And the oldest out of office.
Yeah. So either way, we're breaking that record.
This is great.
Well, Lorna Howley's burning it up. She says that was a rough ride in erection, old Teddy.
So you guys know that the voting age legally in this country is 18, but do you know what it used to be?
I don't.
15.
21. 1943, Georgia actually became the first state to lower it. And then it became part of the 26th Amendment in 1971.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is just like a kind of interesting, well, depressing fact, but interesting. But on average, only 60% of people turn out for presidential elections. Only 40% of people come out to vote during midterm elections. And local elections is closer to 25%.
Oh, man, that's brutal.
So
wow.
Really, like anyone who's not voting that has complaints really needs to shut up.
I would agree with that.
And that's just
But this year, it's broken all records already, though.
at least for the early voting, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys might know the 19th Amendment as giving the women the right to vote.
Yeah, that was a real yeah. Go ahead. That was a good idea, yeah.
David, continue that thought. More women voters have gone to the polls than male voters throughout all the presidential election years.
Wow.
Wow.
So I guess, I mean, we're responsible for some pretty bad presidents. So there was one president that was a bachelor when he was elected. Do you know who it is?
Shoot, I read this and I forget their names.
No.
Oh.
I forget their name. They all like, it's funny because all the middle from like Lincoln up to like Kennedy, they all blur because they're all the same white guy.
Totally true. You guys will never guess this because
Hardison.
It's James Buchanan.
Buchanan.
Someone needs to be more relevant, I promise. How many presidents have died in office?
8.
Yes.
Wow.
How'd you know that?
Because I looked up some stuff to try to do it. I can't name them though.
I can. I mean, there was pneumonia, gastroenteritis, assassin, heart attack, cerebral hemorrhage. So it's like half and half. Half murders.
That's nice.
There were 2 presidents that had been divorced and also elected president. Do you know who they are?
They've been divorced. Oh, divorced? Yes, I do know who they are.
No one. He's our current president.
Yes, I know who the other one is. Do you know, Nathan?
I don't. I have no idea.
Ronald Reagan.
Yes.
Really?
Reagan and Trump have been the only 2 people elected president that have been
Previously divorced. They're married now, but they're previously divorced. Yeah.
I wonder if those women are pissed that they weren't the first lady. Like you missed being the first lady.
Ivana Trump is, because she toured with that stupid book, I'm the First Lady. But Reagan's first wife was like, no, thank you. Everything's fine. Believe me, we're good.
And this is just one more fact. This is gonna kind of go back to David's like, oh my God, I don't want Hillary. That 2008 was the first election in 24 years without a Bush or a Clinton heading the major presidential party ticket.
That's disgusting to me.
I mean, it's a long time. It's too much. It's too much of those families. So I definitely
totally 100%. And you have to understand, you guys weren't around, especially in LA, like all the. Anyways, go ahead. Whatever.
Yeah, I just think we're in for another 24 years of all the Trump kids running for president.
Likely.
But
oh my God.
Okay, this is official trivia start. Of all the American presidents, how many have been Democrats? How many have been Republicans?
I think it's been 50-50, right? Like it's been a weird 50-50, right?
No.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
30 Democrats.
It's funny, I have the answer here and the math doesn't add up. But it's more Republicans.
Okay.
So I'm not going to give the numbers because that doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to move on. Who's the first Republican president? Trump loves to talk about him.
Lincoln?
Yep.
But it was a different party back then. Like
100%.
Yeah, the party's kind of flipped, right?
Yeah, but oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
If you read the stuff that Lincoln actually wrote and said, you can understand why Trump likes him, because he was not a cool guy. He was 100% for white supremacy. He says white supremacy, even like, yes, we must have white supremacy in this country.
All right, we have a question. What percentage of the population was eligible to vote for George Washington? Ooh, great question.
I think none, right? Like at the time, they weren't set up for that, right? I'm thinking, but go ahead.
Appointed? Was it like 10 men in a room or something?
Well, he did win. He was reelected.
So what percentage?
I really don't know the answer to that. I wish I did. It's
So
a
it would
great
be
question.
I don't know, Lorna. What was it?
Landowners, so let's say 20%.
It's a great
We'll see
educated guess.
when that answer shows up.
Do you guys know who the first president was to run and win as a Democrat? Also, somebody like totally forgettable that nobody cares about.
To run and win as a Democrat. It's probably a name we don't know, right? I mean, it's a name we know, but we don't know who the hell they are.
Yeah.
Herbert Hoover.
No.
McKinley.
Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson was a Democrat. See, yeah, like that. The Democrat, they were Republican at that time because Andrew Jackson's the guy who wanted to get rid of all the Indians.
I think we've swapped some values and ideals over the years.
Yeah.
And also, we're just all different. So let me ask you guys this question. Has the House ever had to decide the presidential election because no candidate actually got a majority? Has this ever happened? And if so, how many times? And with who would be a bonus?
Wow, that's like 3 layers before you even get to the bonus.
There was one thing I read. Yeah, there was one thing I read where the electoral colleges have never been the electoral voters have never been what do you call it? Oh, Lorna answered a question.
6%.
6%. Wow. All right. Yeah.
That is a very sobering fact that George Washington
That is
with 6%.
I don't know, Aaron. I do know that the electoral voters have never been, what's it called when you contradicted? But I think that because the electoral colleges, they didn't reach the number they're supposed to, it had to be decided. Go ahead, yeah.
So there was 2 times that there wasn't a majority in the electoral college. It was Thomas Jefferson in 1800 and John Adams in 1824.
Oh,
so
okay.
I mean, a long time, almost 200 years since the last one.
Isn't that funny how Thomas Jefferson couldn't win?
Yeah. What is the most amount of states ever won by a presidential candidate? And if you know who, bonus points.
I do know that one of the biggest landslides, the most amount, oh God. This is so hard. I do know that Nixon had a huge landslide. Reagan had a huge landslide. I don't know. Go ahead. Sorry.
38 states.
It is.
No, it's like 48. It's like 49 states. It's 49. And
you got it, Dan.
Yeah, the one guy, and it was a Democrat that won his home state, and that was it. Was it McGovern? Was it Nixon McGovern?
It was Richard Nixon carried every state except Massachusetts.
Wow.
Yeah, which was
all from grace.
Also, Reagan carried every state except Minnesota.
Wow.
Yeah.
Both lost in D.C. I don't know.
Which isn't a state.
If that means anything.
That's so crazy that I had no idea that they.
But those were Republicans. Democrats never got more than 46.
Wow, I never knew it was that much of a landslide.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine that now? No. Our country all coming together behind one person? Like, I can't even imagine that being a possibility.
No, I can't imagine. And it's funny because Kennedy, who beat Nixon before he became president, Kennedy only beat him by something like 300,000 votes. Because we think of Kennedy as being this really popular president. He wasn't. And then, Nixon came back. And then Nixon came back, won the country, swept it, and then was found to be a criminal and ousted. So that was nice.
We don't have any guesses from the audience that we're missing, do we?
Yeah, audience, come on. No, I've been putting them up.
All right.
But we do have this. We do have this from Lorna Howley. Thongs. Thong. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, in 2016 that Donald Trump won the election, but he did not win the popular vote, right?
Well, that's because there were illegals voting, right?
That aside, how many other times has this happened? And to whom, if you can say whom, you get.
It's been 5 times total. I can only name 3 of them. Can you name any of them, Nathan?
Is it Bush?
Yes.
Which Bush?
Bush.
George Bush. It was the Bush-Gore race.
So Bush Jr.
W.
Uh-huh.
And there's 3 other people that nobody ever cares about.
Yeah.
Carter.
They were before, like, we don't know their names.
So it was 4 outside of Donald Trump: John Quincy Adams, Rutherford B. Hayes, Benjamin Harrison.
Those aren't presidents.
Hey, Benjamin Harrison. Who's that person? 1888. All right. Next question. What was the longest stretch any single party has controlled both chambers of Congress? Which party and how long? How many years?
Is it modern day or is it back in the days when we don't know anything?
It's modern.
I think it was 8 years Reagan. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nathan. Go ahead.
Republicans 12 years.
No.
I think it was Reagan 8 years, right?
Oh.
Who was it?
So this is what party had control of both chambers and for how many years?
Republican 16 years.
No, you guys.
Republican 20 years.
Way off.
Was it Democrat 8 years?
Democrats had it for 26 years, from 1955 to 1981. Democrats.
Wow.
Wait, was that when we grew the most as a prosperous nation?
I don't know.
No.
Why? How weird.
We actually,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, we actually gained lots more money, I guess, from the 80s on, but then the middle class was destroyed. That was the growth of the middle class.
You know who killed it? You know who killed it in 81, right? Because there was a red tide in 81. It's Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter was the 2nd worst president of all time. And everybody was like, fuck you, Democrat. Like, I remember it was like a backlash. Even Democrats were like, fuck you. Go ahead, what?
No, I just thought you meant who killed it. I was like, oh, well, Reagan came in and won, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because he beat Jimmy Carter in a landslide. I think Jimmy Carter only won like 2 or 3 states.
Right.
We had the same thing. We had long gas lines. We had people hoarding water and toilet paper.
People just get really worried about their buttholes during times of crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
So do you know who the first president was who was actually born an American citizen? Like, our first presidents were born.
McKinley.
No, it's some person.
Oh, God.
I never know.
Rutherford B. Hayes.
No.
I do know. He was born. I read it, but I forget their names because all their names blur together because you don't know who the hell they are.
It's true. Martin Van Buren.
Van Buren.
I was going to say him, but I couldn't think of his name.
All right. Next one. Of all the presidents who were born as American citizens, name the state that has been the birthplace of the greatest number of them.
I know what it is.
It's kind of a trick question. Which one?
It's currently blue. Do you know what it is, Nathan?
England.
It's you guys. Oh, you guys almost border on it. There's like a state. It's below you guys. You guys almost border the state.
I'm falling for the trick.
It's not Virginia or Ohio. It's either Virginia or Ohio.
Ohio. So here's the trick. So Ohio has 7 presidents that came from there, but Virginia has 8. However, 5 of the 8 Virginians were actually born as British subjects. So technically, they don't count.
Oh, you guys border both of them, Ohio and Virginia.
We don't border Virginia. We border Ohio.
It's almost. How far is it to Virginia from you guys?
Like
a stone's throw.
Like 2.5 hours.
Oh, okay. There you go.
This is a really stupid question, so I'm going to skip it. How many presidents have won re-election? So we've had 45, or technically 44 presidents. How many have won?
God, I know all these. It's like 13. Sorry, go ahead, Nathan.
Just a lucky guess.
What did he say?
22.
22 have won re-election?
Washington, Jefferson, Madison, Monroe, Jackson, Lincoln, Grant, McKinley, Roosevelt, Wilson, Coolidge, Roosevelt. Truman, Eisenhower, Jackson, Nixon, Reagan, Clinton, Bush, Obama. So we'll see if that turns to 23 tonight. We're gonna decide.
What are you guys gonna do if it becomes? What are you gonna do, Aaron, if it becomes 23 tonight?
It's gonna be live on the air, so I'm gonna be unfiltered. We'll have to see. You'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
If you guys listened, paid attention closely to that list, you'll have the answer to this. But has any president served 3 terms?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which one?
Roosevelt.
4 terms. 4. Count them.
4.
He served 4 terms. Oh, he was voted in 4 times and served 3.5 terms. Roosevelt.
I have 3 here, so I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, Franklin Roosevelt. I'm gonna look it up just to make sure.
World War II, right? That was the problem.
That was 1936, 1940, 1944.
Yeah.
So that would be the heart of World War II.
Yeah.
Do you guys know which state has voted Republican in the most presidential elections? It is absolutely not a state that you'd imagine.
New York.
I'm sorry, say it one more time. And why aren't our listeners commenting on these and trying to answer them, Joe? You're a smart guy. Anna, Dr. Anna Banana. But go ahead. What was the question again?
These erections are really, really hard, like Nathan said.
Yeah. Plus, we're moving so quickly.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry. Answer the question again. I'm sorry, Aaron. Go ahead.
Which state has voted Republican in the most presidential elections?
I don't know.
California.
Nathan, you just
wait.
Use this game.
It's got to be like one of the Carolinas or Georgia,
South Dakota,
or West Virginia.
Delaware.
God, it's got to be one of those. Did I name one of them?
No. Is that your final answer, guys?
Maine.
You're getting closer now.
Is it Maine?
Oh, it's Vermont.
Vermont actually voted Republican 33 times, more than any other state.
But it's totally blue now. I know Maine is a red state.
Maine is, yeah. Vermont's totally blue now, but it was the state that's been red the most, which is kind of crazy.
Oh, Lorna Howley said Ohio and a little bit too late. I'm sorry. Sorry, Lorna. Wait, have you guys ever been to Maine? Is it just totally like just white trash or what?
You've never been to Maine.
I've never been to Maine, but I don't know why we're talking about Maine because the answer was Vermont.
Yeah, Dave.
Well, no, just I'm shocked that it's a red state. That's all.
It's probably very rural.
Oh, are you looking at the presidential map now for the election?
Yeah, no, but it always, like, I looked at it over the last few years and it's been red a lot.
Oh, well, there's only 1% of the vote in Maine, so hold your horses. Jeez.
But no, but last election it was red, and yeah, that's all.
Well,
I think they have to go red because they harvest so many lobsters.
I didn't think about that. You don't want to be clashing on Erection Day.
I only have one more.
Very tacky.
Probably
okay.
Least interesting facts that I'll end on.
What?
Saving the best for last.
Who is the president, or the only person who served as president and vice president without ever having been elected to either office?
I know.
Really? It's one of these losers
Hoover.
that you've never heard of. No.
It was Ford.
It was Gerald Ford.
Well, because I was alive then, and it was like, what? Like, it was a big deal at the time. Like, because then, because what's his name went to prison, the vice president, and then all of a sudden he's vice president. And then, Lorna got it, Ford. And then he became president when Nixon went to jail, or almost was going to go to jail. So it was a big deal at the time. Like, people talked about it a lot. And then he ran for president and lost hardcore. He lost to frickin' Jimmy Carter, who turned out to be one of the worst presidents of modern days.
Jimmy Carter is one president I know very, very little about.
They were hard times back then, my friend. It was very 2020. Like, I remember because he boycotted the Olympics, didn't let the athletes go to the Olympics. We had the gas crisis, we had like hoarding, and there was something else, like some disease. There was some disease like Legionnaires or something like that. It was very, yeah.
So that was the height of the gas crisis, right? Was he was the peanut farmer, right? Who
yeah.
Okay. And didn't he put solar panels on the White House?
Oh, is he the one? I thought they were much later.
I thought it was him because then Reagan took them down, right?
Oh, I don't know. But he was one of those guys who was very nice, but he never had the right thing to say where you were just infuriated because people were kind of suffering. And like he was the opposite of Trump. Oh, Lorna's giving us more information. I thought Spiro Agnew went to prison. She said Spiro Agnew resigned that gave us Ford. Yeah, but I thought he went to prison, but I guess he didn't. Because he was going to. They were investigating him.
I just want to make an announcement right now that we research everything
thoroughly.
Thoroughly.
Yeah, we have a team that does it. Yes.
100%.
Yes. Well, I can... oh, go ahead, yeah?
I'd say that, David, you did pretty well on that trivia.
Thank you.
I feel like, sorry, Nathan.
Wait, I got a few.
It's hard because it's boring shit. America is so fucking boring. But go ahead, yeah, what?
You just have to remember all these just really generic presidential names that all blend together into one name.
It's all
old.
But look, the name Spiro Agnew, like that's a name I'll remember. You know, we need to start naming people more interestingly.
Yeah, Lorna brought up the hostages in Iran during Carter's term. That's right. And everybody called him a pussy because they're like, go get the fucking hostages. And then the second Reagan hit office, the hostages were released, and everybody said that the Republicans paid to have them held until Reagan took office, which I don't doubt. But I don't know. Yeah, but Carter just looked like a pussy all around. Like it was just not. He was the exact opposite of Donald Trump. It was weird.
In a good way or a bad way?
No, like in a totally non-effective way, whatever. Like he'd get on and say things that were really nice, but the country needed things like you know, like we're gonna because we were told that the Arabs were fucking us on gas. So he'd be like, we're working with them, and then it needs to be like, we're gonna go get our oil, we're gonna fuck these people up, or like the hostages, it's day 57, and we're like, I can't do. No. Oh, yeah, he talked like that. I'm Jimmy Carter, and it's day 57, and the hostages are doing real well, and we've talked to people. They're doing fine. And it's like people were like, go get the hostages! We should have sent my mom in with the Hot Wheels tracks. I want my hostages! Ow, shit, Mom! God! Damn it, that hurts.
Oh, my God. Oh, that was amazing. David, you wanted to talk about some election stuff.
Yeah, I can talk about the Electoral College. Do you guys know? Does everyone know what the Electoral College is all about?
You should give us a brief summation.
Okay, the Electoral College was developed by the framers of our Constitution, which each state has electoral voters that are supposed to vote the way the popular vote goes. So, you know, if most people go for Biden, you know, they're supposed to vote all their electoral votes for Biden. There's 2 states, and I didn't write them down because I didn't care. It's like those states that you don't even know are states that can split them if they want to. But the reason why the Electoral College was developed and why we need to get rid of it is because back in the good old days when they were starting up this democracy, when only 6% of the people could vote, most people in America could not read or write. And then the people that could, most of them couldn't read or write at the level to understand what they were voting for. So they did it this way because they said, the quote is, they didn't want them to get it wrong. So they needed the electoral voters to review the votes and make sure. So it's kind of like the Brexit thing where people in England didn't want the Brexit, but they voted for the Brexit.
What does the matter with us? We're so stupid, like from the beginning of time.
Well, the fucking Democrats need to get their shit together and get rid of the Electoral College. They really do. There was a time when Republicans tried to, and Democrats stopped them. And it was in modern day. It was like around the time of, it was after Kennedy. I think it was like Carter days or something like that. Yeah. And yeah.
I can't believe that. I mean, like I had this conversation with my mom today that we were talking about how hard it is to actually do it because you need like a super majority of every vote. And there's just no way in the world that would be able to get that on either side. Like we just can't get the majority for anything anymore. Like nobody can come together, especially for this. I mean, the Republicans are never, ever, ever going to vote yes for this because they know it means the end of the reign.
The argument
Totally.
I've heard for keeping the Electoral College is if you eliminate it, then votes in urban areas are going to be just the majority, and that's all politicians will cater to, and then rural communities will just be left behind.
Bye. See ya. Won't want to be ya. And Lorna says, good old days of slave owners and elites who didn't trust the great unwashed with their erections. It's true. Well, we still can't trust the great unwashed of this country, but at least most of the people in the United States can read and write enough, can't they? Maybe they can't. I don't know.
Sort of.
Yeah, I would say enough.
Enough. Well, the Democrats need to get a little bit more. The Democrats have been told by the Republicans all bets are off with fucking this what's her name, the handmaid lady that's on the Supreme Court now, and they rushed that through. And fucking Obama had 10 months to get his person, and he was like, well, it's too close to the erection because he was being nice. But Democrats should be like, fuck that, no more.
That's not what happened. Every time he gave a nominee, since he didn't have the Senate, they voted him down. He couldn't.
No, totally.
It wasn't just him being a pussy. Like he actually could not.
No, I wasn't saying he's being a pussy. He said, well, there is. I saw a quote of him saying like, okay, it's too close to election. We'll let the next one do it. But what I'm saying is from now on, Democrats shouldn't be like, oh, we only have 10 months. They should be like, we're putting this through. Fuck you. Like the Republicans have told us that all bets are off. So all bets are off.
But it's really, really hard to do that. Like even if Biden got elected tomorrow or tonight, we'll see what we decide. And the Senate's still going to stay Republican. Like he's still not going to be able to do anything. You know, the way our system's set up is it's just like you're asking for things to be stalled.
Totally. I agree with you. It's ridiculous. We have a bad system. It needs to be reworked. And we need to educate everyone in this country. Go ahead. Yes. Yeah.
No, I agree. There's so many things that need to be reworked. Ooh, I don't know if this is a big surprise. North Dakota is going red, it looks like.
I thought it always goes red, doesn't it?
I'm joking.
Oh, you're funny. That's probably because of my mom. Oh, she's in South Dakota. God. All right, so do we want to know? I put together the America quiz because we're Americans and we voted. And this will tell you if you know about your own country. Do you guys want to take the America quiz, bitch? Oh, wait. Anna Denotro Myers is she's coming in hot. She says, topic shift. I want to say, Aaron, your hair is so pretty. Erection levels of gorgeous.
It's funny because I got really angry. I was cooking dinner and it was taking so long that I wasn't able to blow dry it. And then it just dried into these weird curls. And then I told Nathan how upset I was about it.
And what did I say?
You said it looked nice.
It's very runway. It's very runway 2004 when they would do but then you got to do the minimalists, you know, smoky eye and lip. But you didn't do that. You didn't show up like that. But okay.
I didn't show up for this podcast 100%. I'm sorry.
But thank you, Anna, Dr. Anna Banana. Oh my God. And little Nancy Von Edmondson Jr. says, I love your hair too, Aaron.
Oh, guys, I'm feeling
so
beautiful right now.
You're getting all kinds of
I'm never gonna comb my hair ever again.
Your hair is long. It seems super long. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super long. I think all the hormones I have going through me are making my hair grow faster than normal.
By the way, we have some scientists listening, and I'm going to ask you this because I know the answer. How do you make a hormone?
Wait, you said this joke before. I don't know the answer.
Nathan, do you know how to make a hormone?
I think you pay her well.
No, you kick her in the cunt. Okay, let's go on with you guys want to do the America quiz? You want to find out if you're Americans?
Yep. Oh, yeah. This is actually good because I told Nathan a couple weeks ago that I didn't want to live in America anymore. So if this quiz says that I'm an American, maybe I need to stay. So,
oh, okay. Here we go. Where do you want to go if you don't live in America?
Anywhere.
I want to go live in England, but yeah.
I'm having a hard time with the United States of America. at this
I
moment.
do want to go to Iceland too. I want to live there. I want to live in I want to see Norway and all those places, and Finland. Oh my God, they have such amazing architecture. A little Anna de Notre says they're created in your stomach, I think. Oh, that's sweet. She's a scientist. Yeah, hormones. So Anna de Notre says, how do you make a hormone? It's created in your stomach. Okay, the America quiz. Question number 1. Everyone, I want everyone to answer this. What is the official language of the United States of America?
We don't have one.
We don't have one. There is no official language.
I was going to say Swahili.
I wrote my master's thesis on this. So
really?
all the fuckers out there that are like, America, English is our language. You got to speak American. We don't have a fucking official language on purpose because the founders knew that this was a melting pot and they didn't want to designate one language. It was on purpose, and everyone loves our founders, so you have to love the fact that English is not our language.
I do wish that those people would get together and make American the official language of America. I think that'd be so funny. I think it'd be funny. Wait, you wrote a thesis on... Oh, I guess there is more to say about it because the founding fathers said shit. Okay. Yeah,
there were all kinds of movements throughout time. The America First movement that Trump is pushing, that is not new. That's been going on in various forms. I don't know if it was always called America First, but English First. There's been all kinds of movements to try to... They're basically like white supremacist movements.
Totally. Okay, question number 2 is the most American question you're ever going to get. Are you guys ready?
Apple pie.
Close, Nathan. How many people in the United States have worked for McDonald's? Is it A, 1 in 8, B, 1 in 16, C, 1 in 32, or D, 1 in 64?
Well, out of this trio...
1 in 3.
1 in 3 is accurate because I worked for McDonald's.
You did? When and where?
Actually, Anna de Notre-Myers, before she was a doctor, worked at McDonald's as well.
She was Dr. Anna McDonald's? Wait, you guys worked together?
We were, yeah, at McDonald's.
Was it fun to work together?
I mean, it was working at McDonald's.
Wait, did you guys get free hot apple pies?
I remember, probably get arrested for this now, but I remember I would make you make all the patties and stuff and you store them in these little hot bins so that you can make your sandwiches really fast. And anytime I was between making sandwiches, I would like grab a patty and throw it on a bun, and duck under the counter, and eat as fast as I could. God, I just hammered so many Big Macs when I worked there.
Wow, that's a very different Erin Marie Betty Davis Jr. But wait, you didn't answer the question. Did you get free apple pie, hot apple pies?
No, they didn't give us free anything. That's why I'm saying when I was stealing burgers under the counter, it was not.
Wait, they wouldn't give you free food at McDonald's? Wow. It cost them like 16 cents. But was it fun working with your bestie at McDonald's?
I mean, it was fun doing anything with your friend.
Do you remember what your pay was per hour?
Oh my gosh, I feel like it was $6, $6 or $7 maybe.
You know, my first job, guess what my pay was for my first job?
$3.75.
You wish.
10 cents.
$2.65 an hour.
Doing what?
I was 15 and I worked in a dry cleaner.
Oh my gosh.
It was horrible. I've had horrible jobs.
No kidding.
Ew, Anna de Notre-Myers says, meanwhile, I cleaned poop off the floor in McDonald's?
I think
How is that?
My recollection is that I was a quote unquote chef. So I was actually cooking food and I think Anna was cleaning.
Ew, I wouldn't do it. I worked as a bouncer at a gay bar and that was the worst job of my life. And on the dance floor, the 60-year-old man pulled down his pants and pooped on the dance floor. And they were like, David, you need to clean it up. I was like, nope, I don't make enough money. You got to pay me $100 an hour to do that. And I just stood there and some other person cleaned it up. So Anna, you need to go back to McDonald's and say you need to get paid more. No. How did that happen? What?
David, I just realized we had the same job. Bouncer at a gay club.
You worked wasn't it? Well, you probably got hit on a lot, so it was probably good. They probably did whatever you said, right? They were like, oh my God, hi. Did they grab your arm a lot and stuff? Say, hi, oh my God, you're so cute.
I was working the door and a guy walked up to the door and looked at me and he just looked and he said, spin. I was like, what? And he's like, spin.
You didn't spin for him?
No, I didn't spin. I was
What kind of... Give it a twirl. Either spin or give it a twirl, girl. Wait, you guys didn't answer the question. How many people in the United States have worked for McDonald's?
1 in 8.
1 in what?
1 in 8.
1 in 8, yeah. So I guess, yeah, like 2 people out of all these people have worked at McDonald's. So yeah, and Anna Denotro. And Anna Denotro says she thinks it was $5.25 an hour.
Yeah, that sounds right. I would trust her.
Right.
She has a better memory than me.
Okay, number 4. Which 2 wait, did I pass number 3? Oh, yeah, there is no number 3. Okay, number 4. Which 2 states do not observe daylight savings time?
Arizona and Hawaii
Nevada?
or Alaska.
Wow, how did you guys know that? It's Hawaii. And we vote. California voted to get rid of it, but we haven't gotten rid of it yet. 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
I voted pro because you know what sucks? Right now, 4:30 hits and it's dark out. And
I hate that.
Yep.
Okay, people aren't playing along. Are you guys getting it right at home? Okay, number 5. What is the proportion of cows to people in Montana? Is it A, 1-to-1, B, 3-to-1, C, 10-to-1, or D, 100-to-1?
100-to-1.
Yeah, 100-to-1.
I know that seems right, but it's only 3-to-1.
Really?
Yeah.
10-to-1, but
I think
Okay.
worldwide though it's like 100-to-1 in terms of it's
Really?
so there's so many more lives, and it might not just be cows, it might be all livestock to humans. It's like a crazy disproportionate ratio.
oh, they have
Yeah.
different.
But it kind of makes sense, though. Okay, number 7. What percentage of American women give birth out of wedlock?
Oh, I don't know, like
52%.
I was gonna say 60% maybe.
Oh, wow, you guys are over. It's 40%. I thought it was lower, but it's 40%.
Okay, that seems accurate.
Wow.
Thank
It's
God we're not going to.
It's crazy how it's so, like, let me phrase this the right way because it's going to sound wrong. When I was even in my 20s, it was like weird. Like you didn't talk about it, or like, oh, she gave birth out of wedlock, and it was kind of like it was a thing. And now it's like, oh yeah, she had a baby. Like nobody cares. It's kind of cool, but it's kind of, I don't know. I hope it's okay for these women. I hope they can support their kids.
It doesn't mean that you're single if you're not married. You can still have a partner.
Yeah. No, totally. How many Americans are classified as obese in America?
Oh, it's at 78%, or it's in the 70%.
Is that okay? Because I have the answer as 1 in 3, so that's about right? No, that would be 60-something percent.
It's
1
in the
in 3.
70s for sure.
So it's 1 in 2. Wait, 1 in 3? I don't know.
I mean, it's not true. It's over 70% of Americans are obese.
Classified as obese. What is obese? What is classified as obese, though?
I can't remember the ratios. It's a certain body mass.
Is it like
index.
25% or something and up?
It also
25%? That's not that much.
It might be higher. There might be
it
overweight
depends on
and
how,
obese.
depends on how old you are. It depends on a lot of factors.
I need to look it up. We need to look it up really fast because this is important because I might be obese. If your BMI is less than 18.5, falls in the overweight. 30 is obese. That's not that much, actually. All right.
The way they measure it with if you have muscle as well, it gets like out of whack. So
I know they don't have a good calibration for that. Donald Trump is gaining. It's 85 for Biden and 72 for Donald Trump.
Yeah, but there's like 1% of the votes in.
Okay. All right. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Is it legal or illegal for kids to smoke in the United States of America?
Illegal.
I bet it would depend on the state. I bet there's different laws.
It's illegal to sell cigarettes to kids under 18.
Nathan is right about that. It is illegal to sell to them, but it is not. It is only illegal in one state, which is Nevada. The rest of the states, it's 100% legal for kids of any age to smoke in America, and especially in France, where they encourage children to smoke.
Well, I mean, I guess otherwise you're going to be arresting children who have stolen cigarettes from their parents or who just happen to be smoking.
Wouldn't that be funny?
So
Wouldn't that be funny?
Should be penalizing the people who sell cigarettes to children, right? So that's probably the one.
Yeah. Okay, she already stole this. Forget it. I was going to ask what state birthed the most presidents, but you already stole that question.
Ohio.
Okay, if you have a $10 bill and no debt, you are wealthier than what % of American citizens?
90.
Yeah, I bet it's high. I don't know, like 45%?
74%.
I
thought it was. It's not. It's only 15%. And that surprised me because I thought, like, oh, that's not that bad.
Oh my God, breaking news. Wyoming, Nebraska, and South Dakota are turning red. Breaking news.
You know they're going crazy on CNN right now.
I know.
In this last year, if we look back to 4 years ago.
Oh, New Mexico went blue. I mean, with 0% of the votes counted.
And Texas is still blue, too.
So exciting, guys.
Oh, my God. Wait, Biden has 119 electoral votes, and Donald Trump has 91.
All right. How many more are we still doing the quiz or?
Yeah, we're still doing the quiz. Hold on. Keep your shirt on. Okay, number 13. NYC has more people than the entire population of how many of the 50 states?
22.
30.
40.
What?
I know we got to do something with those states because nothing's happening in those states.
There's just cows.
We got to educate them, and we got to fucking do something about fucking religion. I'm sorry, but we do. Sorry about that. Okay, one more question. You guys ready? This I thought was incredibly interesting. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
How many airplanes are flying over the United States at any given time?
400.
2,000.
Wow, you guys aren't even close.
7,000.
It's 5,000.
Okay.
What isn't that? Can you believe it? I can't believe it.
That's pretty wild when you think about it.
And they're just spewing chemtrails all over us.
Oh, no. No wonder we're so stupid.
Oh, is that why?
I think so.
That's
they're
why.
just spewing stupid gas over all the
We're
land.
spewing stupid gas over America.
I think it's time to decide the winner of the presidential election based on the information that we have right now.
With 0% of the vote.
Well, Donald Trump is leading with 50% of the vote, of the popular vote, but Joe Biden is leading with 119 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 92.
Remember that a lot of the early votes cast were Democratic, and they're going to be counted a little slower. So the fact that Joe Biden has 50% of the popular vote on election day is a good sign. States that are kind of hovering, like New York just went blue, obviously. We kind of knew that. Pretty much everyone, New England, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Virginia, North Carolina, even Missouri and Kansas, although I don't think that's going to last, but you never know. Texas and New Mexico are pushing blue. And pretty much all of the South is very, very red.
Well, New Mexico is usually blue. Texas is usually not blue at all, which is interesting.
One for the Bluebies.
And Pennsylvania is still light blue.
Yeah, they're only 9% of the vote in.
How much?
9%. Are there any predictions from our listeners that we should take into account before we decide the president?
Yeah, we want to hear your decisions.
Or who do you want us to choose? We're choosing the winner.
Wait, are we voting? Do we all have to put in a vote? And then it's like best out of 3?
Yeah, I guess we have, like, if we each vote, we can't have a tie because there's 3 of us.
Yeah. Nancy von Edmondson Jr. says, what do you think she says? What's her vote?
Biden.
Oh, I think she would go blue. Biden will win. She has a very futuristic will prediction.
She does. I gotta say though, because even early in the Hillary Clinton elections, it was really red. I remember because I saw it and I was like, "Is that a joke? Are you watching Saturday?" Because my roommate at the time was watching it. And I was like, "Are you watching Saturday Night Live?" And he's like, "No, these are the results as they're coming in." So it was red early on, even.
Do you want to just cast our votes now?
Well, Dr. Banana says Biden. Where did Joe DeNoto? Did he leave? And Lorna, what happened to you? You haven't cast your vote. We cannot decide until Lorna Howley casts her vote.
I think her vote was thong. She wrote
Her vote was thong. Oh, Lorna has a vote.
Of the two candidates, I might choose thong for winner if I could choose a third candidate. But
let me ask you a question: if it wasn't Biden, if it was Romney versus Trump, would you vote for Romney over Trump?
Oh yes. My God, yes. Beyond like Republican Democrat thing, for me, it's like Trump is like a maniac as a human being, like all partisan stuff aside. Like, yeah, I mean that's just what it is for me. He's just like he's a little crazy. I don't think he's all there. I mean, Biden's a little old and senile, but I think he'll surround himself with smart people, and not people that pump him up.
Well, he said he's gonna have what's her name be very active. I forgot her name already.
Kamala
Harris.
Painted as like super left socialist when she's like so incredibly conservative as a Democrat.
Totally. Lorna Howley says Biden.
Yeah, guys.
And then can handle an erection. Nice. Lorna Howley says I gotta repeat this for our podcast listeners. So you gotta check it with the live stream because it all happens in the live stream. Lorna Howley says thong can handle an erection. So it's a strong thong. Strong candidate.
That can contain this entire erection.
Totally.
That's my vote then.
Well, wait. I want to know if all of our listeners, did they vote for who they wanted to win or who they thought was going to win? Because I want to hear who they think is going to win.
I think that's what they were voting.
Okay.
Maybe. I can speak for myself. I'm going to cast my vote. I did vote for Joe Biden, and I do think that he'll win. And I'm going to cast my vote.
You have to tell why.
I think that there's enough people on all sides that are just can't risk another 4 years of this man in office. And I think that we can all come together enough. I do. I think.
Totally.
That's my vote, though. So, I mean, you guys get to decide. If you guys both pick Trump, then Trump's our president. So.
Nancy von Edmondson Jr. says, I think Biden will win.
All right. Who's next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
I voted for Biden.
Colorado just went blue.
And I guess I do think Biden will win for the reasons that Aaron stated. Although today I started getting down, anticipating that Trump will just, through the Electoral College, maintain a lead. So I have some anxiety, but I think Biden will pull it off.
David? And I just want to say, for anyone listening to this is November 3rd. This is 9 o'clock Eastern time, 6 o'clock Western time, Pacific time. So, obviously.
We have no idea.
Obviously, a lot can happen.
A lot can happen. I kind of want to say that Trump will win because I thought that Hillary would for sure win last time. So I think the universe likes to contradict me. But I will say, like, I work with a guy who is ex-Marine, extremely Republican. You talk to him and he's that guy. He's that white Republican guy. And we were talking about it last night, and he's like, I've only ever voted Democrat twice. And he's like in his 60s. This is the second time I voted Democrat because I will not have he got into it. He goes, I will not have the commander-in-chief disrespecting the armed forces. I fought hard, and I know people that died for this country. And he's like, and I didn't know this. Did you guys know this? It is against the law for someone active military to speak against the commander-in-chief. I didn't know that.
Did know that.
And he's like, we honor that. And he dishonored us time and time again. And he got into it. And it was really good to see. And it was like, I will not have that for the good of this country. We need someone like Joe Biden. I don't agree with his politics, but he is an honorable person. The way he spoke about John McCain was honorable. The things that Donald Trump said about Joe McCain were indefensible. And I don't see how the party stood behind him when he said those things, and nobody rebuked him for the things that he said. And the reason why I think Joe Biden will win is because I've never seen an election where so many Republicans are like, we need to get rid of this guy. Like, I've never, even if people didn't vote Republican that were Republican, they wouldn't talk about it. But so many military have come out and said it. And I've heard this from a number of people saying, this is unacceptable. This guy is unacceptable. And even like Republican elected officials saying they will not vote for him. And it's just, so many people have walked away. I can't imagine he could possibly win because it was all the indifference last election that let him win. But there is no indifference this election.
Very little indifference. The fact that there were still undecided voters at all, I mean, especially leading up to this last week, it's just like mind-boggling that you haven't formed yet about.
But the Democrats were so charged up. Like every Democrat I knew, like they would all say the same thing. I'm not excited about Biden, but we've got to get Trump out. We have got to get him out. Yeah. So I can't imagine, like even seeing these results, I think we're being fucked with a little because like, I don't know, just from the way people were talking, it seems like it shouldn't be this close.
It's so early still.
Totally. But that's the only reason I think Biden is because so many people walked away. We never before have we seen that. We have never seen that. People walking away. Even with Nixon, after he resigned, people like Republicans were still like, we got a raw deal. Like they were still like, soothing it over and stuff. Like nobody walked away. Like so many Republicans have walked away. Lorna Howley says, it said you vote for an opponent. Do you want to battle a centrist or a fascist? Oh, so you're voting so I think what she's saying in America, we've come to realize that we have to vote against the guy instead of for the guy, which is sad. That chaps my ass. But go ahead. Is that what you guys got from that?
I mean, it is like,
yeah,
it is unfortunate that we're kind of faced with two candidates that aren't great. I mean, it's just like there's so many wonderful people in this country. It'd be nice if there was just like a top-notch candidate that's got that spark. Like I know not everybody agreed with Obama or liked Obama, but he was like he had this energy and this spark to him. That this charisma that is.
And he didn't say shitty things. I never heard him say shitty things.
That's the thing. Like he just like, hate his policies, but he just was genuinely a good human being, at least in the public eye. Who knows what he did behind closed doors, but it's just, I do think Joe Biden is a good person and he's very religious. I think he's a good-hearted human being. I think he will make rational decisions for the country.
Yeah, and to further, Lorna says there's always work to do. And a good example of that happening, I think, is, I've heard said that, any significant change always starts from the grassroots level. And what's happening in Poland is pretty fascinating right now, where the government's very right that was just put into office. And they passed a law to ban abortion. And since then, they've just been protesting in the streets. Like women have been not going to work and protesting, and they're at the point where they're like, well, we might not be able to do this law. So
we need to take a page out of it. We need to do that here.
Well, so you voted for Trump,
Totally.
But you think Biden's going to win? What's your official friend cast vote, David? I'm not clear.
No. I want Biden to win, and part of me thinks he will, but I want to say Trump because the universe likes to fuck with me. So like,
damn it, David, cast your friend cast vote. Which
yeah, I do think Biden will win because of everything I said. I can't imagine that. It doesn't even seem like it should be close, really. It really doesn't. I can't imagine. This is the thing that drives me out of my mind and makes me want to leave America too. Because wherever you guys decide to go, like, let me know, because I'll probably hitch a ride. Because I can't, like, Donald Trump, even this last week, his words are the words of a dictator. He has a lot of dictator speech. And not only do people support him, they get energized and united under those words. And that's so fucking, like,
yeah,
how do we have people that stupid still in the world? Like, how is that possible?
it's not. It's like, I wouldn't even call it stupidity. It's like straight up hate.
Hatred, yeah. And I understand that they have felt betrayed by our government. We all do. Like, yes, we've all been betrayed by our government forever. It's like, I want to go back to, I want to just say really fast, Lorna Howley says they are straight up Liz hysteria in Poland. She's referring to the abortion things. So I wanted to get that before. But I want to go back to the very wise words of Bob the drag queen, who after the last election is a black drag queen sitting with two white women who were saying, oh my God, can you believe it? Trump's in office now. And what's going to happen to us, to women? What's going to happen to us? And he just went, oh, really? Oh, that's so sad. A presidential administration is against you. That's so sad. Because there are people in this country that have always been at odds with the presidential administration. Always. So what was my point?
Yeah, you're fired up.
You make the point, Nathan. Go.
So he's such a dictator with his speech. Sam Harris, who I'm a big fan of, released a short 8-minute podcast today where he finally came to the conclusion where he realized what the appeal of Donald Trump is. I recommend going to the Making Sense podcast and listening to that episode that he released today. In summation of that 8-minute podcast, he pretty much just realized that Trump is just unapologetic. And he's like he knows he can't win on any moral grounds because he's not a moral person, but he doesn't give a fuck. Like he is unapologetic. Whereas on the left, the contrast, because these things work in contrast in his analysis, is that on the left, especially say the far left, is that you're just guilty of not doing enough. You've already. These are Sam Harris's words that, for the voter who goes for Trump, they look to the left and see that, they're just being blamed for everything, for things, the sins of their fathers, the sins of their own. They're racist, even if they say they're not racist. They're sexist, even if they don't think they're sexist. So it's like a choice between fuck you, I'm unapologetically myself, or I'm guilty and I should be filled with shame and guilt.
Yeah.
So that's a gross analysis between the two. And it does speak in line to what I thought was just so scary about when Trump came on the scene was he was the first Republican nominee who was voicing what I always heard from the base in the rural countryside, but what the Republican voters that I was around, actually the way they thought and the way they spoke, whereas Republican politicians prior to that, would encourage that mentality and, work within that, but wouldn't say it out loud. But Trump was, at least in my lifetime, the first to really just be like, yeah, Mexicans are rapists. So
totally. That's sad that yeah, because he is. His comments are immoral. They're morally questionable, and millions of people love it. It's so like, where is the civility? That it's funny because they're the ones who think that they're the most civil and the most righteous, but they're horrible. Like, it's a horrible, horrible thing to be united under those horrible, horrible words.
But it's like they see it through the lens of freedom. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we've chosen the winner of the presidential election, which is Joseph Biden. Congratulations on your presidential victory.
We'll see.
It's over our listeners.
America.
Yeah.
But Joe DeNotro, I wanted to hear from him. Oh well.
Lorna has the best summation.
He left. He signed out. Anna, make Joe DeNotro cast his vote. Anna Banana DeNotro Myers.
You're just speaking nonsense now to our podcast listeners.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Shall
Sorry.
we put this puppy up?
We should.
We'll just be monitoring the map here. It does look like 61% of the vote is in Texas, and it's still blue, so that's something big.
Wow, that is huge. And Pennsylvania's still blue too. How many percentage of the vote are in?
And Pennsylvania, we have a ways to go.
How much are in?
11%. North Carolina is currently blue. They have 80% reported. They're barely blue, but they're still blue. That's a big one.
Who?
North Carolina.
Oh, but wait a minute. Pennsylvania is 2 hours ahead of Texas, and you guys still have how much percent of the vote?
Only 11%.
Yeah.
So
why? What's going on over there?
Basically, our state law with the amount. We can't start voting absentee or mail-in ballots until the day of the election. So other states are able to kind of start front-loading that and counting those, but we have to do it all today over the next few days.
All right, wait a minute. So that makes because Donald Trump wanted no votes counted after Election Day. So that's what he was talking about. How insane is that? I didn't realize that. Because I thought it was insane already, but that's the way your system works. Like, you guys don't start counting until the day of. So he wanted to get rid of all those votes.
It's not even insane. It's insanely corrupt.
It's insanely corrupt. It's dictator talk.
It's like the fact that other Americans are going to support a president's cause to take, I don't know how many percentage of their fellow Americans' votes and throw them in the garbage.
Well,
it's so incredibly shitty.
And the way that Trump spins is it to them, it sounds like, yeah, that shouldn't happen. When in reality, that's what happens every election. We never know the final count until days later.
You have a good
projection.
Yeah, you have a very good idea on election night, and we might tonight too.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's just that there's going to be a lot of mail-in votes that are still going to be counted over next.
It's straight up what dictators do, where they fuck around with the vote. That's straight up what. Okay, Anna DeNotro Myers got Joe DeNotro to say that Anna just said hello and said to drop by and say hello. Oh, God, I got confused. Wait, he was here earlier. No, Joe DeNotro, we need your vote on who do you think is going to win this election.
Yeah,
who do you want to, but who do you think? Because everyone else voted. Oh, yeah, Bush did that to Gore. Lorna Howley says it's what Bush did to Gore. And Bush did do that to Gore, especially in Florida, where they fucked around with the votes. And his brother was governor, and they fucked around with the votes and just lost a bunch of ballots.
Whoopsie.
Bitch,
oh,
please.
boy.
Apparently, the Associated Press still hasn't determined who
found the votes.
No, well, they still haven't called Florida from 2000.
Oh my god!
All right, Joe's thinking. Who does he think is going to win? He's thinking on it. And Anna says lies about what? Sorry, go ahead.
We gotta wrap this thing up, David.
I want to, but Anna just said lies. Anna DeNotto, is she accusing us of lying or what?
I don't know.
All right. So how do we?
1 minute to cast all of your votes, and then we're wrapping it up.
Gosh, I think we should not take any more votes from now on.
Oh my God, Nathan's the dictator of the Undimensioned Material Friendcast. What's he doing? Wait, I want to know what Anna says is a lie. Like, what is who is she accusing of lying?
How about we figure it out
it doesn't
after
matter.
the episode?
Yeah, we'll figure it out after we wrap this up.
All right, we can wrap it up. So we voted. If Joe has a comment. I think Biden will be the one who doesn't lose it'll take a week or two to get it all settled.
So he's the winner?
I think he's saying shenanigans will ensue, which I think we all kind of thought would happen.
Yeah,
It's possible.
it seems like a landslide. Congratulations to Mr. Biden on your big victory for President of the United States. Thank you all for tuning in and for all of your responses. It's been great doing these live. Anybody that's listening, please tune into our Facebook or YouTube to listen to live so you can participate. You can find us on our Facebook page or our YouTube page at Unimaginary Friend. And if you are listening, please leave us a review on iTunes. That really helps other people find us. And next time, we will have a whole other wonderful episode ready for you guys in 2 weeks.
Okay, and I will just leave you with the last comment. Joe says, nobody wins except us rich folks.
100%.
That's nice. That's nice. I like that. That's a nice little thing.
Positive.
So I just want to end this podcast saying everybody vote. Oh shit, wait, hold on. Wait, pretend like you didn't see that. Hold on. All right. We got a novice working the board. Okay, everybody vote. Oh, wait, hold on. God damn it. Wait, don't go anywhere. Stop. Okay, you ready now? Are you guys ready? Okay, vote, batch.
The Unimaginary Friendcast.
You're still alive. You're still